First of all, it's better to be obedient than sacrifice or whatever. My mom, she called me and told me, and I tried to plead with her. I promise I did. I'm like, Mom, come on, man. You got all these ministers in the church. You gonna call me up? Come on now. But, I'm going to just go ahead and be obedient. And I honestly can say that this was the perfect subject for me because grace and mercy of God. Okay. So, as my little big sister said, that I am officially the last cry. And yeah, let me get to it. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm new to this. Trying to, excuse me if I don't make eye contact. I told my cousin, he came down from Lakeland, Polk County. Aaron Courtney, that's his name. Aaron Courtney Jr. No, he's not my son. We was just named after the same person. No, he's not my son, but we was arguing the other day about junior and senior, and I told him he always be number 2. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumble. So, I told him that I'd sing a song if he sang with me. I guess he ain't gonna sing with me. So, my verse will be coming from. Turn to your Bibles, please. Open your Bibles up. And turn to, let me see. Let me get to it. Excuse me. Luke, chapter 23, verse 46. All right? And I mean, you already know what it says just because my sister, she spoke on the subject. It's on the flyer. So I need somebody to read it for me. It's just something simple. Mom, you want to read it? You don't have your Bible? Melanie, that's it? Yeah, Luke 23 and verse 46.
After so fled him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was put on his way in from the country, and put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A large number of people followed him, including women who mourned and wailed for him. Jesus turned and said to them, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. For the time will come when you will say, blessed are the childless women, the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that were never nursed. Then they will say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if people do these things when the tree is green, what will happen when it is dry?" 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there along with the criminals, one on his right hand and one on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he is God's Messiah, the chosen one." The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered him wine vinegar and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was a written notice above him which read, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God," he said, "since you are under the same sentence? We are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "Truly I tell you today, you will be with me in paradise. It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Stop right there.
Stop right there. We ain't gonna get to the last verse until now. Just that little bit of an example when he met up with, when he was being crucified next to the two criminals. Now, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Like I said, this is a teaching session, and I always told my pops when I was little that I'm not gonna preach, but I promise to God I will teach. So with that example, we all know that one went to hell and one went right on to heaven with Jesus, right? We know that. No matter what they went through, no matter what sins they committed or whatever, it was by the grace and mercy and by his faith that he was able to go to heaven with Jesus. I believe during Christ's walk, when he died for us, his walk to being crucified, that God was preparing him to die for our sins and help become, and as he was preparing him, Jesus was becoming more flesh, more of us. He was becoming more flesh during his walk. If you read a little bit more in Luke, Matthew, it'll say, you'll constantly see that God started to get emotional, started to get stressed. Mm-hmm. You know, Jesus was getting emotional, getting stressed. Like he was just basically dealing with things that we're dealing with. He was becoming more flesh, less spirit. He was becoming more flesh. Now, Jesus did not die as an innocent man, wrongly accused and condemned. The Father could look favorably on such selfishness, death as those. He can just turn away. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. But because Jesus died as a substitute sacrifice for our sins, God had to judge him fully according to that sin. Whatever we do. That's why I don't take lightly when I pray. I tell God the first thing come out my mouth before I even say thank you for waking me up this morning. Lord, I thank you for your grace and mercy. Amen. God forsook the Son because the Son took upon himself our transgressions, our iniquities. Jesus was delivered up because our transgression and died for our sins according to the word. He who knew no sin became sin on our behalf and became a curse for us. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross and died for our sins once and for all, the just for the unjust, and became the argument for our sins. Now, my message is going to be simple. It's going to be like pound cake. It looks simple, but it's going to be sweet. You'll be able to take it home with you, live with it for the rest of your life. So in my closing, now y'all take this nugget now. Take this nugget, because this is what really caught me. This is what really caught me, and I kind of burst out into tears. I told my cousin, I said, man, I don't know what it is about the mic. Every time I get on the mic, I cry. I don't know. I could be talking about anything. I don't know. I guess it's cool, just a spirit. I don't know. But I end up crying. So, but just take this nugget right here. This nugget. Take it with you wherever you go. Anytime you think you done backslid anything, just take it with you. You know how we always say that, you know, God is, let me take it to you. Mel, go to John, 1 John. Chapter 2, verse 1. I think that's what it is. Let me make sure. 1 John, chapter 2. Not John, 1 John. Chapter 2. Verse 1. Yeah.
My dear children, I write this to you so that you will not sin. But if anybody does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous one.
All right. That right there. Boy, I wish I could just pass it. You know, when we run track, you got the 4x1. I wish I could just pass the stick to my brother over there. I wish Danny could take over. But, you know, I'm gonna finish. So we have an advocate for the Father. You know, pretty much what that means. Let's say we're gonna say this is Jesus, right? I just got through smoking, drinking, whatever I just got through doing, and it tore me up inside after I did it, and I asked the Lord for forgiveness, and I believe that He forgave me. And at that point in time, as soon as I asked for forgiveness, Jesus kind of stood in front of me so God can look at me. See what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we all know that God turned His eyes on Jesus, right? He turned His back on Jesus. Now, this is the nugget. He didn't literally turn His back on His Son. God, in Habakkuk, how you say it? Habakkuk? Okay. In Habakkuk, thy eyes are too pure to approve evil. Thou cannot look on wickedness with favor. I'm going to say that again.
All right.
Thy eyes are too pure to approve evil. And cannot look on wickedness with favor. So He didn't turn His back on Jesus. He was too great. God was too powerful. He can't even be around sin. He can't be next to sin. So when His Son became sin for us, when He became sin for us,
all right, brother.
Yeah.
God didn't turn His back because He's too great. See it. That's the nugget. He's too great to even see His Son full of sin. Too great to see His Son full of sin. So when He laid up on that cross
Thank you, God.
and died for everything you did,
That's right.
everything you gonna do, everything your children gonna do, and you always sit there and say, I done did this and I done did that, I don't think God could forgive me. God didn't even see it because He's too great. And Jesus had to block it. So when you ask for forgiveness, like you have no worries. If anything that's not faith is sin. It says it in Romans 6. Anything that's not faith is sin. So if you ask for forgiveness and don't have faith behind that, you already sinned. So there's no point. But if you ask for forgiveness and you believe in your heart that God accepted that, God never seen, because Jesus is shielding you to the point where God can't even see you, because God can't see sin. He can't touch it. He can't look at it. He's too great. So when He turned His back on Jesus, He wouldn't turn His back on His Son because, hey, you got to do what you got to do. It is what it is. No, He turned His back on it because He couldn't be around sin. And when He died for us, when it was officially over, verse 40.
Yes, sir.
Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise God.
23.
Jesus called out with a loud voice, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. When He had said this, He breathed His last.
Now, you usually supposed to give your subject before, but I chose to do it at the end. So in my conclusion, all I'm going to do is speak the subject. So y'all look at y'all neighbor. And my subject is, if it had not been for Jesus, where would I be?
Where would I be?